welcome to Hoops Zooted. Uh, well, today we have a very sad, disappointing, and very angry episode for you. Anyway, I'm your host, Evan Moore. Got a little ahead of myself there. And today I've got a strain I've never tried before. But when I saw the name of it, I just thought it was appropriate. I'm not sure what their play on words means, but for me, it was because I was overflowing with anger today, and so this is overflow that I'm smoking today, and it's because I'm overflowing with anger at the Lakers right now. The tournament hangover is still going on. Excuse me while I take a hit here, real quick. Fucking yeah, jackasses. Like that. My shit's a little bit clogged up because I didn't clean my shit either. Because that's how pissed off I am right now. So anyway, you just have to bear with me here as I try and work this out all with you. So, since the last time I talked to you guys, we have gone 0-3. 3 losses. Lost to the Knicks, lost to the Bulls, and we lost to the Timberwolves. Now, so yeah, it's been a frustrating week, very frustrating week. Let's start off with the Knicks, and 109 to 114, we lost to the Knicks in an ugly, ugly, ugly game. Like, I hate December basketball, and a little later in the podcast, I'm going to explain to you a lot of reasons why. But like, I despise December basketball. It's played with such like kind of lack of care and just sloppiness, and it's frustrating to watch. So anyway, that Knicks game was so frustrating because they shot so terribly, and had they just shot like average, they probably get a runaway win from the Knicks. So that's to start off the weeks. We can kind of brush that off. No problem. We got to kind of hopefully get out of this goddamn hangover because we got the Bulls next. 11-17, I think, going into that, and oh yeah, we should have get them. Like Zach LaVine's not even playing, but of course not. We get our asses handed to us, 108 to 124 by the Bulls. Anyway, I think I've got this cleared up. Excuse me while I play a little bit of music here and just take a little bit of break and here try and take another hit now in my dirty rig because I was too goddamn lazy to clean it off before I started the show here today. And breaking my own words here that I'm trying to like pass on to you about keeping shit clean, but I have an excuse. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off at the team and pissed off at D'Lo. Anyway, let's take a break here for a sec. Much better. Oh, don't know why I did that again. Anyway, much better. So, at least for the moment. But that loss to the Bulls was so frustrating, because without Levine, and we thought we were going to get that win, especially like looking ahead to a lot of the rough waters ahead. That was a game that like we really needed to get that win. So that was also frustrating from that standpoint. And just like I said, it's been a frustrating week, Lakers Nation. But we got it all capped off here against the Wolves, a team that we were all pretty sure that we probably weren't going to win that game. But surprisingly enough, the Lakers actually competed in that game and actually had a pretty good shot in that game. I felt like, of all 3 games they played this week, that was the best they played effort-wise. And, at the end of the game, it was disappointing that they lost, but like it was also the least disappointing of the losses because they played with effort for once, and they did this without LeBron as well. So, I'll give the Lakers a little bit of credit this week, because it was nice to see them finally play with effort, but they did still end up, coming in on the short end of the stick, 111 to 118 to the Wolves. But then everything got capped off with just more insane press conferences. Like, actually, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself here because, like, before the Wolves game, even Darvin Ham makes a comment about how figuring out, with Gabe Vincent coming back, makes a comment about, or I think it actually might have been before the Bulls game. Anyway, bear with me here. I'm backtracking here, but makes a comment about trying to put this together with Gabe Vincent back now is like trying to, work a Rubik's Cube. And, of course, just gets cooked in the comments by all the Lakers fan. Cause just like what, Darvin, like you're losing the fans with so many of the things you're saying to the press right now. Like at some point, like you've got to stop, like trying to put lipstick on this pig and tell it to us straight more. That's what's driving us crazy, so anyway, this loss to the Wolves, like I said, I could handle the loss, but then the press conference afterwards, after we've already had this, stuff with the Rubik's Cube and everything like that, and then, Ham comes out doing the same kind of thing, putting lipstick on the pig again, just not, I mean, just come out and say, we didn't have enough tonight, like just be more frank and honest. That's what so many fans want. And, like, because the rest of it just feels like, like you're being a politician and it's just bullshit. And, just tell it to us straight. Like, you're telling to the players straight, hopefully, as a coach, like, why can't you tell it to us straight? Like, anyway, like I said, it's been a frustrating week here. So, but the capper for me here, like, and I'm trying to actually, I should take another hit before I get into this, because this one really steams me. Now, D'Lo. Yes, D'Lo. He said this.
And if I'm not making shots and I'm depending on me just getting a stop, that's where I work. That's where I try to be better. But that's not what I do. So doing that is an extra, and that's where my focus is. But knowing what I do, that's something that I know as well. So
Oh, so many things to unpack here. First of all, just that's not what I do. Like the emphasis on, like, how he said that just the snark to it. This, like, kind of like, don't you know that I'm here to be scoring? Well, hey, D'Angelo, like, hey, you've been slipping and scoring every damn month. I think you're only scoring like maybe like 7, 8 points a game this month. So yeah, like, and now you're basically telling us right now, like, in not too many words, like, that playing defense is too good for you. That's what it feels like here to the fans, is that you just, yeah, you're there to score. You're trying harder on defense, but just you're that's the best you can do. I don't know. Oh, you're a grown man. You've been playing this game for a long time, D'Angelo. I was one of the people that was really happy to have you back. And right now, I'm just so angry at you. Like, and obviously it means nothing. I'm just a fan. It's fan anger, whatever. But you do not care. You do not want to win. That's basically, like, if you're only going to care about one side of the floor and have this attitude of, like, well, I'm trying, but, like, just, that this is the best I can do. Like, seriously, man. Like, seriously. And also, like, even if that's the case, even if that's how you feel, why are you not keeping that to yourself? Why are you coming out to the press and telling all of us so that we all hear this? And, like, those of us, like, what you don't understand about a lot of this, D'Angelo, is that a lot of us aren't lucky enough to have, you know, like, just basic offensive talents and, like, size and stuff like that. Like, we had to play defense. I had to play defense to get on better courts. Like, defense defense is half the goddamn game. And to, like, imagine, like, being able to go into your boss and, like, say, like, well, half that work you want me to do, I, I just don't do that. Like, because that's basically what D'Angelo Russell's doing. Like, he does that. Like, are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shit? You've been playing this game long enough. And, I understand, like, I personally understand your defensive limitations. Like, you're guarding a lot of guys that are a lot bigger than you, a lot stronger than you. There's, that's perfectly understandable. But we're not like talking about your defensive limitations. We're talking about your lack of want to and your lack of try. And that's what so much of defense is. And, like, anybody who, plays defense and cares about playing defense, they'll tell you the same damn thing. It's about want to, and about, caring about what you're doing. And you don't freaking care right now. So anyway, I'm really angry because, like I said, I was defending you, D'Angelo, defending you, like, tooth and nail, because I loved having you back. You were fun, funny, and, like, you obviously had this, like, well publicized relationship with Austin that was obviously going well, and, it was just nice to have you back in LA. But, like, I feel like you've stabbed us in the back, just absolutely stabbed us in the back. And it hurts, So like, I'm sorry, D'Lo, but I want you traded. I want you traded now. And, I hope Rob is looking and finds us a good deal. And I wish you good luck wherever you go. I hope wherever you go, they don't give a shit about you playing defense, and I hope you get to play your game however the fuck you want. That's great, man. But you're not a Laker, man. I'm sorry. And, thanks for giving another shot. But bye-bye. Don't let the fucking, door hit your ass on the way out. Just, I'm done. Absolutely done with you. And just frustrated because I was rooting for you. I was fucking rooting for you. So anyway. So I also want to talk about this goddamn tournament hangover. Like, I understand that, December basketball, like a lot of these guys would rather be with their families, doing holiday stuff. And, this is there. It's also like very grueling schedules for a lot of NBA players, a lot of travel. And it's rough. I'm not going to deny that. And they are human. But they're also getting paid a lot of money for this job. And, it is a job at the end of the day. This is a business. And, yes, we as fans, we're consuming this product. And, we, our opinion matters. This is why the league made this tournament here at this time of the year. It's because they know that December basketball sucks ass. They absolutely know, just like I know. I've been watching this game for over 40 years, and I can tell you that the game usually sucks ass before Christmas. Like, you might get a few like really good games here and there, like, or some guys like, really compete hard, like really feel it and having fun. But most of the time it's a goddamn slog. And guys are playing sloppy and stupid. And it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. But, the fact that this team just showed us a few weeks ago with the tournament, every one of those tournament games, it showed us that it's capable of flipping the switch and like turning it up when it wants to and playing good defense and, shooting well, the whole fucking 9 yards, like when they want to. I mean, that's absolutely what it looks like. But, obviously, they got that done. They don't need to worry about that. They want to like kind of conserve their energy here, for the playoffs. And, I understand the West is tight, but like we can't like tick off too many games like this, it's not a good idea. So anyway, like there's something to be said about this tournament hangover. But like I think it's mostly like, I'm calling it a hangover, but like being honest, watching this team, it's this team more than it's the fucking tournament. Let's be honest. So anyway, let me take a break here while I take a sip. I'm just getting a little bit cotton mouth, and I'm gonna take another little hit. So let's just take a little musical break here for a second, and also let me calm my heart rate down before I get too angry here. Fucking D'Lo. Ah, now I feel a little bit better. Okay. So, anyway, like I was saying, I feel like it's really more about the team than it is the tournament, and the hangover. I'm going to call it that just kind of jokingly because it's an easy kind of funny thing, but let's be real. This team just kind of basically is sitting on their ass for a little bit, resting for, you know, this playoffs, even though that I guess they're a little bit overconfident after being the 7th seed and making all the Western Conference Finals, um, and disregarding the fact that it's probably a real disadvantage to have to go back to Denver for 4 fucking games. But anyway, on to the next topic. Next topic is actually like funny and disturbing, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it along the timeline of Twitter. If you haven't, oh my god, like the Timberwolves Brazil count, like they are doing crazy stuff, and like of course, like after beating us, their post like did not like disappoint those dirty bastards. Jesus Christ. Oh man, funny as hell, but like disgusting at the same time. My hat's off to them, but like, I'm also shaking my old man fist at them, bastard. Anyway, if you haven't seen that on Twitter, check it out. It's worth a laugh. Anyway, I want to rant next about really why I hate December basketball so much. Like, when the season starts, October, November, there's at least kind of like an excitement with games, and like, you can feel it with the players and teams. But every year when you get in December, it's just this slog, this absolute slog of games. And it's so frustrating as a fan. So, I do appreciate what the NBA did this year with the tournament. And, I kind of hope they do extend it into December because, yeah, it would really be helpful to have some meaningful basketball in December. And, I'm not just saying that as a Laker fan and just saying that just because, yeah, we're sucking ass here in December. Like, as an overall fan of the game, who likes to watch a lot of other games other than Laker games, like, I just like December games just frustrate me the most out of like any month of the year. And like I said, I get it. You know, like you all want to be with your families. It's the holidays. Yeah, I get it. And a lot of these schedules are really, really grueling. So I really want to advocate for a shortened season, or like, some way to stretch it out, especially through December. Like December should probably be the sparsest month with games too, because you're also competing with the NFL anyway. But, that's, that's obviously a, marketing thing that, the NBA, like, yeah, they're not going to listen to me or whatever. But anyway, just just throwing out spitballing ideas. Anyway, just December basketball has been frustrating for a long, long time. And, I'm curious, like, if anybody else out there feels the same way. And also, if there's anybody that says they love December basketball, yes, please come tell me on my timeline. I'd love to talk to you because I'm I would be in awe of how you're amazed at how December basketball is good. So anyway, I guess I'll move on to the next topic here. And this is all over everybody's timeline. And I don't know about you, but I am getting sick and tired of it. I can't take it anymore. Please, please stop talking about Zach LaVine. Please, I beg you. I just, that trade may happen, but there's also so many like issues with taking on that $40 million contract. I do understand him as a player. It would be great to be able to plug in. This team could really use his offense. He's a guy from LA. I love that whole idea of it, but at $40 million, oh my God, it's a mess. It is such a mess. And adding that to Braun and AD's contracts, especially with this new CBA, is a huge, huge mess, especially if we can't win a championship with it. Because also with doing that, it strips down what we thought at the beginning of the year was pretty good depth, but at this point we feel like that depth is pretty shaky. So if we strip it down more and then have to try and refill it with some, less than great depth that we had to pay cheaper prices for, like, oh my God, that's so I understand, Zach, he's the big shiny object. Like, he's the prettiest one on the market. Like, the one that we all want. But the other truth of that is that we're not going to get any trades here until at least the new year. Nobody's like that that December 15th. That just means they can talk to each other. They're not really serious about making deals at this point because it's the holidays. They don't, unless somebody had like some incredible deal that they were going to give up and somebody was going to fleece somebody else, you're not going to see a deal until the new year. And a lot of times it's probably closer to February that we get that first deal anyway, because a lot of these contracts that have to wait till January 15th. So I understand we want to talk trades, but there are like countless other guys out there besides Zach LaVine that have a better fit with D'Lo's contract. And we need to be talking about serious trades that can actually happen. So now I understand we all want Zach LaVine. I'd love to have Zach LaVine on this team, but let's talk about something that can really, really happen, because the odds of Zach LaVine getting on this team are very low. No matter how many like things you want to throw into it about him being from LA, any of that, and being clutch, it doesn't matter when it comes down to making the contract work and fitting it in with the salary cap and all that shit. So anyway, just everybody take a deep breath and take Zach LaVine's dick out of your mouth, please. And just be patient. Be patient. Rob is cooking. Rob, like, who last year would have picked, any of the trades that we got? Rui, D'Lo, Vando, like nobody. I don't think, like, I didn't see anybody on my timeline that was picking those. And, maybe you guys had somebody that was like, I did not. Like, those came as, quite a surprise and a pleasant surprise, because all of them were helpful at first. Yeah, fuck you, D'Lo. Anyway, just so frustrated that I don't know if I'm going to let that go for a long time. Like I said, D'Lo, if you're out there listening to this somewhere, even want to come on my show and talk to me about this, like, man, like, maybe I've misunderstood you, But like here, let me play this again. Like I'm getting sidetracked, but let me play this again. No, that's not there. There we are.
And if I'm not making shots and I'm depending on me just getting a stop, that's where I work. That's where I try to be better. But that's not what I do. So doing that is an extra, and that's where my focus is. But knowing what I do, that's something that I know as well. So
And then the little like doing that as extra, and then he catches himself and he goes, "Oh, but that's my focus." Like there's like just fucking just mounds of bullshit in that statement. Just heaping mounds of bullshit. Good God. Fucking D'Lo. Like just, you know, and like I've gotten into arguments like with people today that like, are mad at me because I'm not letting him stay honest. And I'm like, dude, there's a fine line between being honest and being a dumbass with the press and like kind of just throwing the rest of your team under the bus too. Like how the fuck are you like coming into that locker room after saying something like that? Like, me as a teammate, like, dude, like you got to try, man. Like, just so frustrating. So frustrating. Anyway, sorry to get sidetracked on D'Lo again. Stopped working for Zach Levine. Let's move on. You know, the next topic I'd like to actually talk about a little bit um, is that the Clippers are looking really, really good and really, really scary right now. I don't know if any of you've watched any of their games, but Russ is like seems still happy on the bench, and they're clicking. And I know it's the regular season, everybody says this, but like if that team stays healthy and they're clicking like that with these 4 stars, they are a tough out. So like when we're looking at everybody in the West, we do need to really when they're healthy, we need to take them seriously right now. But that's the big thing, is that are they going to stay healthy? I understand, but people need to keep an eye on that team. And Harden, when he's happy, he plays well. And the thing that worries me about this team, that when it comes to playoff time, is that there's a very good chance that we've all seen Harden kind of like shrivel in the moment um in a lot of like playoff instances. And I think that if Paul George and Kawhi are both healthy, I think that they won't have to worry about that, because most likely they would be the ones that we would be taking the ball and taking the moment. But we will see. Like he is still the point guard, the starting point guard. So like that's the one thing, like that we still don't know about this team, is how is James Harden going to react in the playoffs. But right now, like they are a serious and tough out, and yeah, they need to be taken seriously right up there at the top. And the Timberwolves are a tough out, but I also took away that like they are still very beatable. Like I watched them play Miami a few days ago, and Miami made a good go of it for three and a half quarters, but just couldn't hold on in the fourth. And they were beatable against us even without LeBron. Like I felt like had we played a better game, we could have beaten them. And had D'Lo played a better game, we could have beaten them. But anyway, that so the West, the top part of the West, with Denver, Minnesota, and the Clippers is getting really strong. And the Suns don't seem to be nearly as strong as I thought they would be. And part of that is that, the big three just still haven't really been able to play together and gel together. And, so, I mean, still a possibility that they put it together later in the season, but right now they're not looking like quite the threat we thought they were. But those top three, like, yeah, we need to be playing our A game. And you know, the frustrating thing with this team right now is you can see it in them. They did it through the tournament. Like they have the ability to do this. They can play well enough to beat even those top teams. Now it's not going to be easy. I think beating any one of those top teams is probably going to take a 6-7 game series for sure. But that's the lofty goal we're shooting for. So, but just keep that in mind and put some respect on the Clippers name right now. They're playing really really good basketball, and I got to hand it to Ty Lue, and that also yeah, get a little dry mouth here. That also just brings me to another point. Clippers got a great coach, and that coach could have been our coach, Ty Lue. Ty Lue, I'm so sad that you're not our coach. I really am. Like, I'm so sad that they lowballed you. That was fucking terrible. And I'm kind of embarrassed by that. Like, you played for us. You've also coached LeBron, and you coached LeBron to a chip even. So I have no idea why the fuck they lowballed you. And as a Laker fan, it's kind of embarrassing. And yeah, but great fucking job you're doing with the Clippers, man. I gotta fucking hand it to you, man. Like, that's managing those egos. That's world class, man. Like, if you can pull this off, man, props, man. Like, that's big time. That's big time. And I wish you could have been our coach. And I'm fucking sad you didn't. They lowballed you. I'm really freaking sad. So anyway, that was the other reason I want to talk about the Clippers, like, because that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. We never should have lowballed Ty Lue. We never should have lowballed Ty Lue. I'll fucking say it how many times I need to fucking say it. God damn it. So anyway, moving on. I can be a little bit cheerier, a little bit calmer. It's not all complete doom and gloom. So anyway, let me play a little bit of music. I'll take another hit, and then I'll explain to you about why. Even though I'm really pissed right now, this team pisses me off. We need to trade D'Lo. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and tell you that, yeah, they're still going to make my prediction of 62 games. No, they're not going to come close. I'll be lucky if they get 52. So anyway, let's take a little break, and I'll be back, and I'll explain a little bit more. Okay. So anyway, like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. Don't need to jump off a cliff. Don't need to scream up and down the timeline. Don't need to tell everybody the season's over, and anybody, like those of you that say the season's over, like I've got a little message for you, like that's fine. If the season's over for you, that's fine. Like just pack it in. Like, do whatever you need to do, man. That's no problem. Let the rest of us like go on and yeah, season's over for you. Like, whatever. Concentrate on football, start thinking about baseball, whatever you need to do. Go over to hockey, whatever. Bro, it's cool, man. Like if the season's over for you, season's over. But stop fucking like, trying to convince the rest of us that the season's over because there's still a lot of fucking games to be played. Okay? Thank you. PSA for everybody. So, anyway, season's not over, not all doom and gloom. This West, it's a tight race. Like we're still, we did drop down to 10th place, I believe, when I checked today. But we're still, only about like 3 or 4 games from like, 4th or 5th. And I believe about like 7, like 7 or so from the top. So like it's not the end of the world. This is still a very, very, very tight race in the West. And, one good winning streak, and I know I've been saying that, and we've been going on losing streaks, but one good winning streak, propels us to the top of the standings. So take a deep breath. It's only December. Thankfully, the only trophy that they hand out in December is that, stupid tournament that we won and that stupid banner that we put up. And, whatever, you could say whatever you want about it. Like, to me, it still signifies winning. And, I still believe Kobe would have been okay with it because it signifies winning. He was talking about runner-up banners, but that's anyway. I've talked about that before, but anyway, everybody just needs to calm down because it's a long season. We still don't know who we're going to trade for D'Lo. We still don't know what other, marginal moves we're going to make. We don't know who's going to take that 15th roster spot eventually. We've got all kinds of, things that still haven't developed with this team. And, we still haven't been fully healthy. We've got a lot of guys toughing it out. And, shout out to, all the guys that are toughing it out, especially AD. So many guys that have been calling him soft. So many, like, it's ridiculous. Like if you've been watching this game, like every single game since that man has been here, to call him soft is just the most insane take ever, because that guy has tried to play through so much pain, so many small little nagging injuries that you may not have been paying attention to. Like, I see this stuff, like, as somebody who, loved to play and, also went through a lot of times where I had a lot of injuries myself and, prevented me from playing. And it's also frustrating, like, anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. That's why it's hoops zooted, that happens sometimes, but anyway, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. This team has got issues right now. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and say, "Oh yeah, we're fine right now. Just don't worry about it." Like, like in fact, like I've been offering like reprieve, for a Lakers fan So like last night, I jumped in my playback, and when the game started, I just put Heat on so that the movie with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, like not the Miami Heat. um, I put that on so people could just come in. A couple people came in, to watch it, um, and just it's just kind of a funny joke of like when you're sick of the game, you can kind of come over and watch the movie, and like personally, I don't care if anybody comes in the playback. I'm having fun. So, but anyway, and I'll probably do that again, with another tough game like that where they, especially where someone's down like that, and we think it might be a bad loss, but it's all about having fun, like because it's a at the end of the day, this is a game. You should enjoy it, like, and if this game is making you angry and like unable to sleep and just like frustrated, and you just have that much invested in it, even if you've got a bet on it, like because I've even got a bet, I've got a futures bet on the Lakers here, and hey, if it goes, it goes. It's like but that's also how I gamble is like you know I gamble something that if I lose it, it's not a big deal, like you know and that's the smart way to gamble, like you don't ever bet too more than you can, and don't bet too much. And so you got to be having fun out here, like this is a game, and if you're taking it too seriously, like you're not even involved in it, man, like just take a step back and realize it's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. you know it should be fun. This is a game. Like I love this game. I love watching this game, not just the Lakers. I love the Lakers, but I watch other games, like I tell you. So like, it's a fun game, and you should be enjoying it. And you know, yeah, stop the doom and gloom, and yeah, everybody just kind of chill out, man. So anyway, I guess that just about wraps it up. So I guess that really only means just one more thing.
It's time for historical circle. Gas or pass.
Yes. Another episode of Historical Stoner Circle. So anyway, again, like, I was gonna just, name three historical people and talk about who guys I'd like to get stoned with. But like I think, we need to entire Lakers nation needs to fucking smoke a doobie with me. Come on, man. Like y'all need to chill. Chill. Like we're all in this together, man. We're all in this together. So like, have fun with it, laugh, joke, you know, don't be nasty to players. Like that was another thing I saw. Like, yeah, some guy like, even on my thread, like was saying like some shit about like, oh, I hope D'Lo like gets, gets caught for drunk driving. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, so you're wishing, potential harm on him or other people, other innocent people even. Like, oh yeah, great job, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, be better, people. Like, why are we doing stupid shit like that? Like, I understand that, like, oh yeah, you're hiding behind your little avatars. But come on, man. Like, grow up. Anyway, like I said, entire Lakers nation, take a hit with me, please. And just chill. Let's just chill. Come on, man. It's no big deal. No, because man, we all want this. Now, like, no, I'm not gonna like blow smoke up your ass and say, like, you need to not give a shit. Dude, like, I'm passionate about this team. I love this team. Like, you just saw me rant about D'Lo. Like, I want that motherfucker gone. Gone. Just get him gone now. Yesterday, I want him gone. But I'm not going to let it ruin my mental health, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And none of you should be doing it either, man. Come on, man. It's a game. Like, have fun. Have fun. Joke. Come to my timeline. Talk shit to the old man. Like, like, I love it, man. So anyway. I guess that about wraps it up. And love having you. All of you people that listen to me, shout out to the, like, the handful of people that listen to, every episode, like, within like the day or two of me putting it out, man. You people are my shit, man. Like, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it so goddamn much. Anyway, everybody stay zooted and have a Merry Christmas as well. As merry as you can. Let's hope that the Lakers don't shit on our Christmas about Boston. I shouldn't talk about that. Like, zip 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 zip. No, I'll just not. No, I didn't say anything. Let's move on. Everybody stay zooted. Love you all. Thanks for listening.
In the history of mankind, men have been called out and written up millions of times over. But only one man was written up for, and I quote, making barnyard noises and wouldn't stop. Rest in power, my friend. Washiko.